The gavel slammed down, echoing across the dusty plains of my family's ranch. Karen's voice, sharp and smug, cut through the morning air like a knife. "Sold to the highest bidder," she declared, her designer heels clicking on the wooden auction platform. The crowd murmured, some nodding eagerly, others shifting uncomfortably. I stood at the edge of the property, heart pounding, watching a stranger try to sell off my legasimi home for a fraction of its worth. This wasn't just an auction. It was theft, dressed up in paperwork and Karen's crocodile tears. She convinced half the town I'd abandoned the ranch, claiming I'd signed it over to her in distress. Lies. All of it. And I was here to prove it. The ranch had been in my family for 3 generations, 200 acres of rolling hills, weathered barns, and memories etched into every fence post. My grandfather built it with his hands, my mother raised me here, and I'd poured my life into keeping it alive after her passing. Karen, a real estate mogul with a reputation for flipping properties like poker chips, had moved into town 2 years ago. She'd eyed the ranch from day one, offering me insulting sums to sell. I'd refused every time, but Karen didn't take no for an answer. She'd wormed her way into the county records office, schmoozed the right people, and somehow produced a forged deed with my signature. By the time I got wind of her auction, she'd already spread rumors that I'd fled town, bankrupt and broken. The betrayal stung worse than the Liesh had been my neighbor, shared coffee with me, smiled while plotting to steal my life's work. I'd been away for a month, settling my late mother's estate in another state, when a friend tipped me off about the auction. Karen had wasted no time, scheduling it for a Saturday morning, banking on my absence. She didn't expect me to drive 14 hours overnight, fueled by rage and determination, to crash her little scheme. As I stood there, hidden behind a rusted tractor, I saw the damage she'd done to make the ranch look worthless. Broken fences, trash strewn across the fields, and spray-painted graffiti on the barn reading foreclosed. She'd staged it all to scare off serious buyers and snatch the land for pennies. My blood boiled, but I held back. I had a plan and evidence. Karen's voice droned on, dripping with fake sympathy. "This poor ranch, abandoned by its owner, deserves a new start," she said, gesturing to the crowd. Her diamond earrings glinted in the sun, her tailored blazer screaming wealth. The bidders, a mix of locals and out-of-town investors, scribbled notes, some hesitant, others greedy. Then a new face caught my eye, a nervous-looking man in a cheap suit, clutching a briefcase. He kept glancing at Karen, then away, like he was hiding something. I didn't know him, but his presence felt off. I filed it away, focusing on the task at hand. My lawyer, Sarah, was already on her way with the sheriff, armed with the original deed and proof of Karen's fraud. All I had to do was stall. I stepped forward, my boots crunching on the gravel. The crowd turned, gasps rippling through them as they recognized me. Karen's face froze, her smile twitching like a bad signal. "You're not welcome here," she snapped, recovering quickly. "This auction is legal, and you're trespassing." The nerve of her, calling me a trespasser on my own land. I held up my phone, live streaming to a local Facebook group. "Legal," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Then explain the forged deed, Karen, or the $10,000 you paid a clerk to backdate it." The crowd erupted in whispers. Her eyes narrowed, but she laughed, tossing her hair. "You're delusional. Security, remove him." Before anyone could move, the man in the cheap suit stood up, voice shaking. "She's lying," he blurted. Heads whipped toward him. "I'm Tom, the clerk she bribed. I didn't want to do it, but she threatened my family." The crowd gasped again, louder this time. Karen's composure cracked, her face turning red. "Sit down, you idiot," she hissed, but Tom kept going. "She paid me to alter the records. I have proof mails, texts, everything." He fumbled with his briefcase, pulling out a stack of papers. The twist hit me like a lightning bolt. Karen's own accomplice was turning on her, right here, in front of everyone. I seized the moment. "That's right, Karen. Tom's already handed copies to my lawyer. And the sheriff's pulling up now." Sirens wailed in the distance, right on cue. Karen's smug facade shattered. She lunged for Tom's papers, but he yanked them back, stumbling into the crowd. "You traitor!" she screamed, her voice raw with panic. The bidders backed away, some filming, others shouting questions. I kept my phone steady, capturing every second of her unraveling. The sheriff's car rolled in, dust billowing, and 2 deputies stepped out. Sarah followed, holding a folder thick with evidence, bank records, forged documents, and a notarized affidavit from me, proving I'd never signed anything. Karen tried to run, her heels catching in the dirt. A deputy caught her arm, reading her rights as she shrieked about lawsuits and injustice. The crowd was in chaos now, some cheering, others stunned. Tom, still trembling, handed his papers to Sarah, muttering apologies. I felt a pang of pity for him who'd been coerced, caught in Karen's web like so many others. But pity didn't erase his role. He'd face consequences, too. As the deputies cuffed Karen, she glared at me, spitting venom. "You'll regret this," she snarled. I met her eyes, calm but firm. "No, Karen, you will." The auction dissolved into a mess of canceled bids and angry investors. Sarah worked with the sheriff to seize Karen's files, revealing a pattern of fraud stretching across 3 counties. She targeted vulnerable properties, forging deeds, and bullying owners into submission. My ranch was just her latest prizer, so she thought. The live stream went viral, shared by locals who'd long suspected Karen's shady deals. By sundown, the ranch was mine again, legally secured, and Karen was behind bars, facing charges of fraud, forgery, and extortion. As I walked the fields that evening, picking up trash Karen's goons had scattered, I felt a weight lift. The ranch was battered but standing just like me. I thought about Tom, wondering what drove him to confess. Maybe guilt, maybe fear, maybe a spark of decency Karen couldn't snuff out. Either way, his betrayal of her saved my home. The stars came out, bright against the prairie sky, and I made a promise to my grandfather's memory. No one would take this land again. This story isn't just about one ranch or one Karen. It's about standing up when someone tries to steal what's yours, your home, your truth, your dignity. Karen thought she could bully her way to victory, but she underestimated the power of evidence, community, and sheer stubbornness. What do you think did Karen deserve her downfall? Was Tom a villain or a victim? Share your thoughts below. Truth matters, and so does fighting for it.